rap for the people in town. We're in Harlem now, so we got to get down.
I got to do it in a way that's nice. I don't want to walk out of here with ice. I'm going to tell you, man, when I'm in town, you and me, Biz, going to get it down.
That's right, Joe. That's right.
Tonight, gang, tonight, I think we've done the impossible. Now, we have the leaders of an organization called the White Aryan Resistance Movement with us tonight here at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. Well, if I didn't think these guys were nuts before, I'm absolutely sure of it now. They claim that the strides made by blacks and other minorities have all been made at the expense of the white man. Well, fellas, here's your chance to convince the good folks in Harlem that they've been screwing you. Good luck, guys. Come on, let's get 'em. Let me introduce you first, if you don't mind, to the two guests we have with us on home base tonight. Tom Metzger, director of the White Aryan Resistance, which stands for war. And I'm not going to designate this man as a black activist. He is an American activist. Stonewall Odom. Tom, let me start out with you, pal. One of your many bizarre themes, all right, and theories, is that whites built this nation, and that progress made by minorities is robbing whites of what they claim is justly theirs. You don't really believe that, do you?
I believe that we're in a white civil war in this country. Our main problem is with white people who are too damn dumb to fight for what's theirs. Our first fight is not really with black people at all. It's with the white power structure in this country and the Jews that have betrayed us all. Notice, he's in Harlem. He skirted the issue of Harlem and got to a synagogue. Ain't no synagogues around here, man. Ain't no synagogues around here. Blacks have their issues. Whites have theirs. The black struggle...
I would say basically, sir, you are kicking...
The black struggle is a black struggle. The black struggle is a black struggle. The white worker struggle is a white worker struggle. They're two separate movements.
All right, then let me ask Stonewall. Stonewall, do you think America needs an organization, let's make it this way, devoted to the advancing the cause of white people?
No, I don't. We live in a multiracial society. However, we live in a plural society. So the black struggle is a white struggle, and the white struggle is a black struggle. And people... And people with philosophies such as this gentleman should go back to the rock that he crawled from under.
That's a great philosophy. You want to suck up to the man. If you want to suck up to the man, that's a great philosophy. It hasn't done too much for you so far, and I don't think it's going to help the black race in the future.
I don't need anyone sucking up to me, pal. Yeah. And the only thing you is this.
Talking about you. You're not the power structure. You're not the power structure.
Let me ask Tom. Apparently what Tom thinks, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but apparently you think that all great achievements came only from white people. Do you mean to tell me that blacks have contributed absolutely nothing to human development?
Of course blacks have contributed some things, but I'm interested in the future of white.
I'm sure you think...
Through yet another 20...
Why
They can
should we?
brag about
Why
theirs,
should
we'll
we
brag
have to
about
keep
ours.
track? Why should we have to keep track of what a white man, black man, brown man, red man, yellow man did?
We're two
Why isn't
separate
it the human race?
races. We're
And
two
we're one
separate
race,
races.
baby. It's the human
We're on
race.
a different trip, man. We're on a different trip.
You believe that we're on a different trip in America. I mean, you eat potato
Don't
chips.
you see that?
You eat potato
Don't
chips,
you
right?
see that?
Do you eat potato
no,
chips?
it's junk food.
Okay, well, whites eat potato chips. The blacks invented the potato chip. So now we're all on that. We're
gonna hear about peanut butter too.
You'll hear about that and cotton also.
Okay.
We're all on the same. We all.
You invented cotton?
No, we're all Americans here. We all have one issue here to make this country of
No,
ours
they picked
great.
it so you could shove it up
You're
your
not
butt.
making it great.
People.
You're not making it great.
The crud of society.
You are being used by the white power structure, the elitist bastards that have sold out us long ago, and they're selling you out, and you're going along with that trip just like him.
Oh, yeah? Why can't... You know what the problem is? You know why we hate the white power trip and the black power trip? Because we're not in it as leaders.
Are you
We
kidding?
want to take it over
What are you
so
talking
that
about?
everyone runs
This
it
whole
now,
media
not
thing
just
is a white,
scum
that's
like
a white
you.
power trip, though.
What do you suggest? What do you suggest we do in this country? What do you suggest we do with the Jews, the blacks,
what
the
black
Hispanics?
separatists have been doing and white separatists are doing, fighting for our individual futures and making plans and having discussions that might make some sense in this country.
Well, let me ask you both.
Integration isn't making sense.
Let me ask you both, Tom Stonewall. Should we be spending any time on who built America and who didn't build America, or shouldn't we all be working together for everyone's mutual advancement? And incidentally, Stonewall, I have no problem with the National Association for the Advancement of White People, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the National Association for the Advancement of Orientals, Hispanics. That's fine. Everyone wants to advance themselves. Good. How about having a National Association for the Advancement of America? Why don't you join?
But you see, people like this.
America's dead as a doornail the way you see it. You're still looking at the conservative motherhood apple pie. That was gone a long time ago when we went off to war and got our people killed by the millions. America died a long time ago, the America you're talking
Then,
about.
sir, if America...
If
America died, Stonewall, if America died, it's the dead carcass is always eaten upon by maggots, and you're a maggot.
The media is the parasite. The media is the parasite.
Maggots like this have been locked out of American system because of the fact that of their philosophy. Now, they have no other way to go but to try to separate us as Americans.
You said he was an American. He said he's a black activist. You said he's an American activist.
The power structure realizes that this is just a maggot.
If he's a black
he's been locked out of the white
that's
power
fine
structure.
with me.
He's been locked out of the white power structure. So the few small-minded whites in America who feel the way he feels have been disenfranchised because us as Americans understand what they're all about.
I'm telling you.
So in order for them,
there's a white
We're going to take a break.
war going
We're going to take a
on.
break.
You're
There's a
not
white
part of
civil
that
war, and it's being fought by a few guys like you, all right? You're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're going to lose.
Oh,
Next,
no.
we're going to ask these white supremacists why they think they're so superior. I think most of us agree. They're scum. All right, let me introduce some more folks. Let me introduce some more folks who are joining us at home base. Rabbi Rosenberg is with us tonight. And we'll just call Rabbi Rosenberg a humanitarian, because indeed he is. We've also got, at loudmouth number 1, Carl Strait of the Aryan Youth Movement. You feel like a tough war skin? Yeah?
Oh, I do my job.
Why don't you take a walk down 125th Street, baby?
With you with me.
Let me also introduce at loudmouth 2, George Holmes, with the Immigration Services of Congress of Racial Equality. Mort, let's start with Carl. Let me start with Carl here. Carl, you remember what you called a White Aryan Race Resistance Organization, all right? Warskin. Just what is it you're resisting? What's the point? And what's your organization do?
We believe in separation of the races for the survival. Black and white separate. That's what we believe in.
So when you say black and white separate, do you mean black and white? Do you mean white separate from blacks, from Orientals, from Hispanics? Move all those others out.
No deals with
Move all
Orientals,
those others out, right?
Or Jews, like this one
Or
here.
Jews.
Oh, it's like this one.
Aren't you the guy who teaches them how to self-defense and all that? You're the tough guy, right?
That's right.
Your job, but you're telling me, and it's telling you got your hair cut since I saw you last time, huh? You try to look more the part, right?
Yeah.
What's this on your hand?
Rings.
Rings with little things so you can cut people up, huh?
Yeah.
You think those are any good when some guy knees you in the nuts?
I don't know. Yeah, sometimes.
All right, Mort.
That'd be censored.
What's your organization all about?
That's a good one.
What's your organization all about? You say separation of blacks
Rights
and
for
whites.
white people? Rights for white people. We don't want this to be a nation of Jews or another sky.
You know, two things I notice now. Two of the leading proponents of this, knowing they're in Harlem, are kind of separating out blacks, and you're now going with, as you say, Jews, right? We aren't in Greenwich Village, and we aren't in a synagogue. So you're copping out. You're a little nervous, aren't you? A little nervous?
Well, look, I want to tell you something. We're growing all over the United States. It's too late to stop us now, and even the feds know it. It's too late.
Too late. Too late to stop you now. George, let me ask you, what do you make of creeps like this and their little racist organization? They're growing. They're probably up to 10 members.
Well, Mort, the message I have for this idiot over here and for the on stage is very simple. It's very simple. We've heard about some of the attacks that they have made on black people. Young black kids, old black women. I'm going to say to you, out of respect for your show, we might let them out of Harlem today. But we're going to invite them back. We're going to invite them back, all right? We're going to invite them back to make the same threats against the black people that he's made when he was by himself in some little cage that he came out of. We're going to invite you back to Harlem without Mort's protection.
We've never attacked anybody older than that. You know that's a bunch of Jewish garbage.
Because you will send you back. We'll send you back, all right?
That's a damn lie. We never have.
You're lucky you're here at Mort's invitation, brother, or you would not get out of Harlem today.
I'm freaking in my
You're going to leave. You see all those cops? You see all those police outside? They'll get you out of here.
Yeah, when you can rap here. That's your doing.
They'll get you out of here today. Because if it wasn't for all those cops outside, you would not go home today.
Big guy. Why don't you join the crib?
Let me talk.
Why don't you join the crib again? That's your mentality.
Come like this. What's the gentleman's name?
Wait a second.
Roy Ennis ran away from this man at the Hilton Hotel just about a month ago.
If Ennis ran away from him, it's because he didn't want to kill him.
I tell you what, Ennis had 7 or 8 people with him, and he ran. Scum like this does nothing. Scum like this.
You're the scum.
Scum like this sets no fear. Scum like this put no fear. Shut up, you're rude also. Scum like this. Scum like this puts no fear in the hearts of blacks because we've struggled all of our lives. But what the scum like this does, he makes it difficult for the hard, honest white person in America who does not visualize things the way you do. That's who you make it difficult for. Because then you allow...
Let me introduce Rabbi Rosenberg. Rabbi, you've...
Every Thursday I stand
Pearl comes from one grain of sand, sir. What do you come from? One piece of...
I don't use that terminology. Actually, I'm a nice guy once you get to know me.
Let me go to Rabbi Rosenberg. Incidentally, his synagogue was recently desecrated. Rabbi, I don't know if it was by people like this or who.
Well, you know, Stonewall and I have been involved in many, many humanitarian acts over many, many years, and we're very close friends. As far as any attack you have on the Jewish people, I'm happy to tell you that we now have Jewish power. We're not afraid of any of you.
Are you leading the Jewish Defense League now? Leading the Jewish Defense League against anybody that attacks Israel, is that your thing, Rabbi?
I tell you what I would like to
the
do.
Jewish Defense League, don't you?
Yeah, we smashed them in L.A. We beat the living hell out of them.
You walked down the street
And your leader, Reuben, ran out the door.
Out of you, didn't they? Didn't they? Okay. I say, you walked down the street in San Francisco shortly after doing my show, and they beat out of you, didn't they?
Hey, we had a big white pride march in San Francisco.
We did march in San Francisco. How come the state of Israel is allied with South Africa if you love the blacks so much?
You know what I'd like to do?
So much, what about being allied with South Africa?
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to call upon a dear gentleman and a dear friend of mine who you just attacked, Roy Innes, for the two of us to start a national coalition against all these people and to have blacks and Jews on a national level coincide against hate mongers such as yourself.
I never attacked Roy Innes. What are you talking
You
about?
can't even speak correctly.
Do you admit that your friends in Israel are allied with South Africa? What do you tell black people about that?
All right, let's hear how do you handle that.
Let's see how we handle it. Also, there are African countries, black African countries, who are purchasing arms from South Africa. So some of our dealings are purely financial and not all racial.
Why are you running gun for this man over here? He's robbing the blacks and the whites, too.
I'll be happy to answer his question.
Blacks for black pride. That's what I believe in. Black discrimination.
This is so typical of the media and of these types of people, all right? Try and get the blacks and the whites going at each other, eliminate all the other issues. This is the bullshit we've had to put up with for 40 years of liberal rule in this country, and you're part of the problem. We're going to be back. We'll talk about the next generation of hate, the Aryan youth. Join us. You know, the thing we have to watch out for is we have to watch out for this type of thinking permeating the youth, all right? And that's exactly what Tom's doing. You're not just satisfied with middle-aged bigotry and stupidity and hatred. You're teaching the young to hate with the Aryan youth movement. How do you justify that? I mean, can you?
That's subjective.
Your own kid.
You call it hatred, I call it love. We're getting the youth, white youth of America. We love our race, and we love it enough that we're willing to die for it if we need to. That's what we're doing across this country. This summer we'll have a national coalition meeting. The Euro-Caucasian provisional government in this country, the war started in 1984 when Robert J. Matthews and the Order declared war on the system in Washington, and we support that declaration of war today. We're not here to convince necessarily anybody, because what's going to happen is going to happen.
How many members do you have?
And these people better get out of the way.
How many members do you have? How many members?
Thousands of them all across the country.
Thousands.
Yeah. Of the right kind.
Right kind. And you think thousands of wimps like you two guys are going to crush us? Huh?
If you know the pressure points, if you know the pressure points, the thousands will do it.
Let me go back to Carl a second. Carl, the last time you were here, you said you train kids in deadly force.
That's right.
Who do you want them to kill?
Huh? No, I just want to protect ourselves. We don't fight unless we're attacked first. We've been attacked many times in the street.
Was that kid who
We've
tried...
been attacked many times in the street.
Okay, was that kid who tried to get out of your organization, who was found nailed to a board, was that not attacking? You didn't do that, right?
No, of course not.
You guys didn't nail a member of yours who tried to get out.
That was Greg Withrow. I didn't attack him. I never
You did
attacked
not
Greg
crucify
Withrow.
him and nail him to
But
a
he
board.
lied on me on the Phil Downey show.
He lied about it.
Oh, he sure did, yeah.
They protect white youth, they protect white womanhood, and they protect white people who want to be protected. And if anybody goes against them on the streets, they're going to get smashed.
But isn't this the gentleman that had his philosophy smashed in California? Mort, isn't this the same gentleman that had his philosophy shoved up his rear end in California on the street?
Yeah.
Well, you're just showing your ignorance.
Rabbi, I want the rabbi to answer a question, because the question was asked by one of these gentlemen, what about Israel's alliance with South Africa? How do you explain that? Let me hear it. Let's not waffle out of questions here.
Hey, I'm not here to defend that, but I'll tell you one thing.
Why not? Give me a why.
I'll tell you why. Because we have apartheid here in America. Let's clean up the problems here first. And the other thing I've got to warn you all about, people like this...
You're a Jewish Nazi, is all you are.
Well, you're an idiot. But people like you try to divide blacks and Jews. And I'll tell you something. No one's afraid of you. You guys are silly. You're a bunch of idiots. And we can defend ourselves against you any day.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can. Go out, attack anybody that disagrees with Israel. That's all you've ever done. You and that... How's your buddy Mordecai Levy doing?
I think all of you would like to believe, see, people like you who spread hatred would like for blacks in this audience and across America to feel that all Jews are in agreement with South African policy.
You should listen to Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan is a good black leader. He told you the same thing.
That's just as wrong.
I was there.
That's just as long as your
rally in L.A.
That's just as long as your position. If we want to be fair about the dealings with in South Africa, then we as blacks should also address the black countries who are purchasing arms from South Africa.
What do you think? Let me ask you something. What do you think of what Louis Farrakhan said about the Jews?
Which black country? Which black country?
What's the warring country? The last country, it leaves me right now.
Do you believe Syria is
He wants to answer your question about Farrakhan. Let me hear
Louis Farrakhan is Hitler revisited. And the same thing that happened to Hitler should happen to him. He should commit
Hitler
suicide.
created a lot of great jobs for the German people. He brought the German economy up.
And so Farrakhan.
That's right.
Leave Farrakhan alone.
Then we should, exactly.
He joined Hitler in a bunker and he should be dead. We Jews and we blacks should
Bring your
support
hatred out,
America.
Jews. Bring your hatred out, Jews.
We Jews and we blacks, we Jews. Speak for yourself.
This is the enemy of free speech and social justice. This one right here.
They play both sides of the street.
I want to get from Carl and from Tom. I want to get something straight from you guys, all right? I really want to try to understand your twisted minds, guys. Give me a short list of your heroes and your favorites in American history. A short list. Let me hear from you first.
Jr., who said our bond with Europe is a bond of race. If the white race is ever attacked, we should go to its defense with every plane in the sky and every ship in the sea. That was Charles Lindbergh.
All right, who's your other hero?
Well, we have William Jennings Bryan, Eugene Debs of the great white labor movement in this country.
He's your main hero.
Hitler did a lot of good for a lot of people. And you Jews, if you got a hold of that, you'd have run that too.
And he was just like you.
See?
Let me hear from Carl who some of your heroes are. Who are some of your heroes?
Some of my heroes are people like Frank Silva, David Tate, Robert J. Matthews, the people of the order. Those were my heroes.
Right on. Sir, let me here's the gentleman.
Yeah, and Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler's a hero of yours?
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler's a hero of yours?
I think that's what I said, yeah.
You have no idea how many whites he killed too, do you?
There were people, all people were killed. But they only cried for the Jews. They built big monuments to the Jews. You think they were the only people that ever got killed?
Mort, we cry for the Christians and for the Jews.
Oh, I never heard you cry for the Christians once.
70 million. I have always spoken on behalf of Christians who perished also. There were many Christians who gave their lives on behalf of Jews. It's people like you who want all of humanity dead.
I want you out of this. You're a parasite.
Let from this gentleman. This gentleman's name is... Rabbi, zip it, Carl. Let me ask this gentleman. I think your name is Saeed Saladin.
Saeed Saladin is my name. First thing I want to do is welcome you to Harlem, Morton, Downey. And I want everybody to get a round of applause for the Inner City Broadcasting Company for renovating this Apollo Theater. Right.
All right, go ahead.
Right, it's Apollo. And in the Apollo Theater, if you half-step and you get booed, whether you're a famous movie star or a chump. So I just want to say, but let me warn everybody in this audience about one thing especially. In the South, where the white man tell you how he feels, and he's honest with you, and he lets you know where you're standing at, you seem to prosper. If you go down south, black folk own land. More black colleges are in the South than there is in the North. More black people own land in the South than they do in the North. In the North, they claim to be integration, and they love black people, but they talk one thing out their mouth, and they got another thing in their heart. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about, hold on. I'm talking about down south white folks. I was shocked to go down south, and I lived in Arizona. I've been in Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. I never received respect from white folk until I went down south. I never met a more warm people till I went down south. And the trick is played up here in the north, where you got a lion cracker who speak one thing and say another thing. Look at the schools, look at the dope. Ain't no dope flourishing in the South. So what I'm telling you, I don't agree. I do not agree 100% with what the white supremacists are saying, but I'm going to listen to them because I know a lot of white folks think like them. I know they have an impact.
We're going to continue to be a nation of all people, or we're going to be uniting by separating. Let's find out when we come back in the next segment. Let me come, please, to George again, if you don't mind. George Holmes, when we talk about people getting along with each other, it brings up immigration, all right? You're familiar with that. Is our virtual open border policy helping or hurting all of the Americans who live here now?
Well, Mort, it can't do anything but hurt. It's got to help. This country was founded on people coming from all over the world, from Africa, from the Caribbean, from Europe, from Asia, and they came together.
They came together in slave ships, baby.
They came together. They came different ways, but we got to understand something. This country was built on the backbones of the immigrants. We've got to allow those people who want to come to this country, who want to build, and we've got to allow them to come in, and we've got to give them the status they need to succeed here.
Let me ask you a question, Carl. That's all well and good. We have an open border so that Mexico can pour across. We have an open border so San Salvador, so all of these Hispanic nations can come across. And I think that's great that we all live together. How about opening them up so my Irish can come across, all right? This is 275,000 illegal Irish in this country, and they want to boot their ass out. I want them here, too.
Well, Mort, that's a misconception. That's a misconception because the fact is that the borders are open for Europeans to come in whenever they want. It's the Africans and the Caribbeans who are having problems coming in. That's where immigration needs to open up its borders to our brothers and sisters from Africa, from the Caribbean, and from the third world countries. That's the immigration policy that this country needs to develop.
All right?
Let me hear from Tom.
Let me hear from Tom.
Look, the first ones that get hurt are the blacks with immigration. Are you kidding? We come from California. The Mexicans swarm across the border.
Supporting anything I say or do, all right?
Let me tell you something.
Don't try to whitewash.
The largest black unit
very specifically
in
what
LA
you're saying, because I'm not afraid of you. I know where you're coming from. You I can deal with. You I can deal with because I know where you're coming from. It's the folks who hide in the closet, the ones who we got to worry about. You I can deal with. I'm not afraid of you. I can walk down the street with you any day, and I'm not afraid of you because if you step on my toes, you're going to hit the pavement. That's the bottom line. It's the other folks that I'm worried about. And it's the people who set the policies in this country I'm worried about. You don't set...
Man!
Come here and Stonewall.
I'd like to address the gentleman there. I'd like to address your statement. You said before that blacks in the South are achieving, and I agree with you. That's one of the problems with the Northern black, and a lot of that is within us. We have not bought that from the South here. Once we came to the North, we seem to have forgotten that what we need is not to wait for whites to do something for us, but to do something for ourselves. We tend to want to lose ourselves in an integrative structure or to be accepted under unequal levels. We would want low-income housing in middle-class neighborhoods on an unequal basis to have our heads rubbed. We forget that we need entrepreneurship, political upper mobility, and economic upper mobility. And forget about that nonsense that you are not as good.
And Stonewall. And one other thing.
We know. Don't let him talk with that big shot gobbledygook.
Our biggest fear in the North.
I'll tell you the gobbledygook. I'll tell you the gobbledygook. You worry too much. You worry too much about guys like this, me, or anyone else telling the black community who their leaders should be. Let them pick them themselves.
I'm just talking about the same people who are screwing up. There's some like this we don't worry about, but the ultra liberal we should worry about, because those are the ones that are misleading us.
John, I guess what it really boils down to.
This is what I'm right here.
What it really boils down to.
I'm just giving you guys a free tip. Why don't you listen?
That's what guys like this have always given. They've always given the black community a free tip. You know what's free, baby? Ain't nothing free, except his mouth, all right? Our audience is going to speak next, so watch out, boys. Stand by. All right, I promise this gentleman he was first up to bat. Loudmouth 1, sir, your name. Okay.
I just want to make it clear
Let
that
me have the microphone on down here, please.
I just want to make it clear that I have nothing to do with this gentleman over here, for the audience, firstly. Secondly, the rabbi has continually skated on a question from the audience, and I'd like to present the question for the brother that asked the question. In terms of Israel, they have given a lot of support to South Africa in terms of arms and shipments, et cetera, et cetera. You have not addressed that question as to why Israel is doing that. Secondly, I heard you make a statement that you cried for the Jews and for the Christians. How about all the black people who are still dying in South Africa? What is your comment? Thank you.
Rabbi?
I think the question was a very good one. I don't represent the state of Israel. I can't answer for the state of Israel. What I can answer for...
Do you approve of their trade
I don't
with South
approve
Africa?
of any situation where humanity is made any less than being human. That's my personal feeling.
Semantics.
As far as why we don't cry or do cry out for our black brethren, I'll tell you something. You don't need me to cry out for you. You have leaders who can take care of yourselves very well. You don't need me. Second of all, any humanitarian worth his salt will speak on behalf of blacks, on behalf of Jews, on behalf of Orientals, on behalf of all humanity. Because when Hitler goes after someone, such as these people, they go after the entire human race and try to destroy anyone. When he was playing the fiddle, it reminded me of the concentration camp, when they brought Jews and non-Jews to the crematorium and they played the fiddle. We have to unite together on behalf of humanity.
Do you? I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to tell you, zip it.
You want
I'm going to ask the question one more time. Are you upset with the fact that Israel trades with an apartheid, suppressive nation like South Africa? Yes or no?
I personally am upset.
Or no?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, sir.
Does your synagogue support Israel?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry? What have I done about it? I spent my entire career on behalf of peace and humanity. That's what I'm going to do about it. That's why I am in shows like this. That's why I work with Stonewall. That's why I go against idiots like this. Because humanity is Israel.
I will say the rabbi has stood up.
I want to ask you a question. I want you two aliens to ask me, what do you think we're going to be doing as a human race if you come around spreading your racist propaganda? What do you think we're going to be doing to defend ourselves? You're saying you're going to kill us, kill our babies,
want to be separate.
kill our babies, etc.
We got a white civil war going on. It's between whites. Blacks have nothing to do with it.
For 400 years, we're still fighting. We're talking about a white civil war.
Against the elite in this country.
Since when?
That's what it is. An elite against the elite and a Jew.
White. Oh, that's the elite and the Jews. Where were you in the 60s, bro? You were hanging us like rabbits.
European non-Semite people, that's white.
I understand that.
You say Greek people aren't white? Look, come to the table if you want to eat. We'll sit down and discuss it on a national level.
When I want to eat food, I don't want my food poisoned, if you understand what I'm
Come to
saying.
the table, you won't be able to eat. I've offered. These are the same type of people that want you all dead. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Carl.
All right.
I went the day before yesterday to a rally that was supposed to be held. The media blurted it out all over the place of the Ku Klux Klan in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. There were 15 jerks in starched white sheets, all right, who probably had nothing but wet dreams in those starched white sheets. And there were 200 people from the media who were able to get other people down there to watch. I went down there, spit in the guy's face, and every white and black person there left that scum alone with the media. And you're the type of scum,
came across to get in. There are a whole bunch of white people broke through the lines to join.
Let me hear you.
I don't have a sheet.
Let me have it.
I was going to say, I have never hung a black. I would not go out and poison their food. It's not my fault what happened 100 years ago. I'm talking about right now. I don't know what happened 100 years ago.
It's happening right now, pal.
No, we're not out hanging black.
Let me hear you. Let me hear you. You zip. This is the audience. You zip.
Thank you, Morton. Thank you. My name is Paul Miro, and I just want to say one thing to this man right here. You say white media, fella, look around. You with the wig, with the rug. You, all right? You had...
I bought that.
You had the nerve to tell Mort Downey, white media, hey, fella, look around, buddy. We got multicolor here, all right? That's number one. And you dirty son of a bitch, all right? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something. How come down south you wear the sheets, man? Up in Harlem, you don't. And I, for one, feel offended with the flag on your jacket with the KKK abides by, and I want it off. Take the flag off. You're in Harlem, buddy. Take it off. That is the KKK flag.
I'm not going to take it off.
Take it off, man. You're in Harlem, buddy.
That's right.
Give
I go
us
in where I want to go.
respect. Take the flag off, buddy.
No, I put
All
right
right,
here.
because you ain't got the sheets, buddy, but your colors are showing.
I don't wear the sheet.
Come back.
I'm not in the Klan.
Again. Stay with us. Come on.
You're a sick man. It's people like you and your movement that are instilling vicious and heinous ideas in today's
Coming
youth.
from you, I'll accept that as a compliment.
You are vermin.
Oh, you don't...
You are vermin. I'm a Jew and I'm proud of it. And it's vicious people like you that are giving the Jewish race and the blacks a bad name.
Hey, you
and
brought it on yourself, and it's coming home to roost to you. It's coming home to roost. You brought it on yourself. I'm just one separation. That's all.
It says all men are created equal. Wait a minute.
You're against freedom of speech.
Wait a minute. All men are created equal. Are those men only those who fit into your mold?
I'm not talking about equal or not. I'm talking about separation for the survival of the black and the white race.
Oh, man. You're vermin. You are
Don't you want to survive?
You should be shot.
Let me hear this
If I
gentleman.
get it there,
Let me hear this gentleman. Sir, you step up there.
Directed to you, scumbag, and this lizard face. I want to know why you said y'all in war fighting when we, the brothers down in the front line, getting killed. In Vietnam, huh, bitch? And this mother... Yeah. Hey, I would like to sit down. Right now. You ready?
Let me go up to the balcony. Up to the balcony. Up to the balcony. Go ahead, sir. Zip. I want to go up here.
You're a very fortunate black person. Yeah, I've been around. I've been in war.
What about...
You ain't got nothing.
Rabbi,
Let me hear this gentleman.
I'd like to know, what about Jewish racism in Borough Park, where the Jewish kids spit on the Gentiles and say goy, and you want to buy a house, and the guy from Israel says real estate woman, I'll kill you. And the chief rabbi of Lubavitch in his Hanukkah message in the paper says, love of your fellow Jew is one of the most important things, but nothing about love of your fellow person. We should love everybody, not just Jews loving Jews only.
Man, what we got to understand. Hey, pal. Hey, you got to listen and understand. All Jews aren't great. All whites aren't great. All blacks aren't great.
That's right.
None of us are all great. There's a bunch of kiss asses out there. Don't worry about that.
You're right.
Worry about the masses. On our next show, Zip. You shut up. You shut up. Talk about Vietnam. You just shut up. You got nothing. You got Vietnam. On our next show tomorrow night, also from the Apollo Theater, we have coming up a solution to racial problems. Listen to this. Separatism. Tomorrow night from the Apollo, we'll have Robert Brock. Would you step forward, Robert? Who is a black separatist. And we'll have Daniel Johnson, who is a white separatist. And looking at these gentlemen, I can damn well understand why they want to be separate. All right? Look, pal, it's very simple. There's no place in this world for people who hate, particularly people who have no other reason other than the color of someone's skin. I hope we've exposed some of these jerks. He swept everything under that rug. All right? Now, let's get them the hell out of the building, give them a 10-second head start, down 125th Street. Good night, everybody.